Ba-da, ba-da-da.
For us. Yeah,
It's
you're
all right,
right.
we're finishing our thing.
Da-i-da. It's
Yeah, we don't do it.
da-i-da.
Orpheus is a bit of a mutant form. It doesn't look like all the other orchestras that you would see. And in social systems, just as in biology, one can often learn a lot from mutant forms. So I want to help my students and my colleagues learn what they can learn from this orchestra that operates differently than most large orchestras operate.
The Orpheus Chamber Orchestra was founded in 1972 by a group of musicians who aspired to create a new kind of orchestra, one that would give each individual the opportunity to create and take responsibility for the music.
Play the notes choppy.
after
Doesn't
all
make
that.
any sense to me.
Wow, we have to really sort this out.
Yeah, so, you know, my part is really screwed up compared to the score. There are a lot of dynamics that are in the score that are not in my part.
It's the very first rehearsal that we will do on a piece. We'll have what we call the core, and it's usually made up of the principal players of each section without the rest of the section. And what we'll do is play through the score and try to decide overall what kind of basic interpretation we want to do with the piece. It makes it more efficient that we have not a definitive idea of what we're going to do, but we have a sort of a general sense of what we would like to do with the piece. When the orchestra's here, the other players can certainly speak up and say that they totally disagree with something the core has decided, and the group will sometimes accept that, sometimes reject the idea. So it's not like it limits the rest of the functioning of the group, but it gives us a head start of just being able to have a direction of where we're going once the full ensemble does come in.
Yeah, so the long note, it actually...
I first want to say that I've listened to you last night, and it was a total delight for me and my wife, and we went home really enchanted by what we heard. But looking at the process today, I almost feel like it's a miracle it actually happened. So my more critical comment, which is really a real naive question maybe, if we're differentiating between the process and the results, it seems to be pretty unanimous that you're saying from the process perspective, we're delighted we don't have this arrogant guy who is waving at us to tell us what to do, so we're more satisfied.
My parents were always sticklers for listening, which is rare, I know, because everybody knows us Americans as talkers. We do a lot of talking and we don't do much listening. But they're laughing because they know. But during the first 3, 4, 5 rehearsals, they'd be discussing the music, and I would just be sitting there. And someone would turn around and say, well, what do you have to add? I'm like, I have nothing to add. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. It was amazing. The idea that sometimes your part is not the lead line is something that never occurred to me. So I'm learning more than I could have ever learned by running my mouth. So, you know.
Great. Let me just ask the orchestra members what it's like to have Branford.
Oh, that's not
Great. Do you have disagreement with each other? I mean, if that happens, what do you do?
Well, we had a I don't even think Nardo would think of it as a disagreement. But yesterday before the concert, we were playing the Mio Creation of the World. And there's this, the second movement starts out, there's a piano part, and then a bass solo, and then followed by a trumpet, followed by a trombone, followed by the saxophone. And we have this line, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, and there's this way that I've been playing it for the last year. And Nardo says, well, if Jordan, the bass player, if Jordan's gonna play it that way, everybody should play it the way Jordan plays it. Now, I personally like the way I play it better. But then I started to think about what Nardo said, and it's like, well, he's right. You know, there's 5 people playing the same line. There should be some cohesiveness. And so, am I going to stand here and try to get everybody to play it like me? And since everybody's almost playing it like that, what makes more sense? So I just played it the way everybody else played it. And when I did it, was that you last night? I played it, and somebody went, yeah, like, yeah, finally, exactly. It's about time. There you go. No, it was Dennis. So, I mean, those are the kind of things that happen, because you can't afford to allow your ego to get in the way, or your lack of ego, I should say, your insecurities to come to the forefront, because you have to understand that the only reason he would say that is to improve the music. There's no hidden agenda here. And I think that it's unique to be in a situation where so many musicians understand that. In any organization, when that's the hardest part, I think, in any organization, business or otherwise, is to get people to put aside. They say, well, the standard quote in the States is, you know, check your egos at the door. But I think that more appropriately would be check your insecurities at the door.